Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. So all praises who the world calls God in Jesus Christ. The true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh for the Heavenly Father, Yahushai for his beloved Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy all full elect. Says, they've killed God. I cannot feel God. My soul is dead. AstraZeneca halts COVID-19 vaccine trials after second volunteer develops neurological problems. AstraZeneca revealed details of its large coronavirus vaccine trials on Saturday, the third in a wave of rare disclosures by drug companies under pressure to be more transparent about how they are testing products that are the world's best hope for ending the pandemic. The release comes after a second vaccine test volunteer developed neurological problems. According to resources who claim to be familiar with the vaccine trials, the second volunteer suddenly started saying, "They've killed God. I can't feel God anymore. My soul is dead."
On the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? Aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses. And the plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses. The plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is Funvax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalists.
All right. So what I did was bring out a lot of information just now. There was one more video that I wanted to grab. If I can find Elder's second page.
And the heart is deep.
So in the last few seconds, I know get a flu shot, get a flu shot, get a flu shot.
It's not just a flu shot. It increases the chance, it seems, of you getting COVID-19. In Italian studies, people had the flu vaccine had lower risks of death.
I gotta
in the
run.
US as well.
All right. This is a lot of information, man. There's a lot of information, man. But the big takeaways. Let's hit those. Person takes the trial form of the vaccine. Now they're saying they've killed God. I can't feel God anymore. My soul is dead. They're linking it to a neurological disorder. In this video, you have Dr. Oz going on CNN, a big news network, or Fox News, big news network, giving the space to talk. And the first thing he says is, more than a vaccine, if you get the vaccines, there's been studies that show that you could, that there's studies coming out of Spain that show that you're at a higher risk to contract this new pandemic. Right? So we go to this Department of Defense interview or display.
Journalism.
And you have a proposal. What's the name of this?
Those viruses, and the plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses. And
you see, they use flu viruses to spread this, to attack that part of the brain that is associated with your connection to the Heavenly Father. And at the end of the day, we know the only ones that really believed in the Lord was Israel. 2 Ezra 3 and started 31, it says, I do not remember how this may be left. It says, are they then of Babylon better than they of Sion? Or is there any other people that know thee besides Israel? Or what generations have so believed thy covenant as Jacob? And yet the reward appear not. You see? It says, it tells you right now, man, there's been nobody else that has believed in the Lord as Israel. It says, and yet their reward appeared not, and their labor had no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. So the only ones that they're really attacking with this new DNA changing, neurological changing solution to this pandemic is going to attack your connection to the Heavenly Father. But you have men in these other camps that sit here, like Nate of the IUIC, saying, hey, just take it. Take it. You're stupid if you don't take it. You gotta do it. You gotta have to go to work, don't you? That's what he said, man. We're telling you to have faith. We're telling you to have faith, man. It's no time to play games, man. You know, this is a very serious reality you're living in. Get this next precept. First Thessalonians 5 and 3, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. This is the form of their peace and safety, cutting you off from the Lord, man. We're going to get some more precepts on this. This is their form of peace and safety. It says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that they should overtake thee as a thief. You see, we're supposed to have our eyes open, watching unto prayer. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others. You know, you have people that sit here just waiting for this stuff to come out, just waiting for this stuff to come out, not being aware that this is part of this devil's plan. This is a long con, as they say. It says, verse 8, but let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. You see? So they're trying to cut off your link to the Heavenly Father, man. And this all goes back to what all the heathen have always done, man. This truth is getting to Esau, man. The so-called white man, this truth is getting to him. Psalms 83. And 1, it says, keep not silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. We already read who's the ones that really believe in the Lord. Who would be picture A? Who would be picture A in this video? The top image of the brain. And who would be picture B? The bottom image. Picture B would be the heathen. Picture B would be Esau, Edom, Moab, all of them. But you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the confusion of faith that look like the other nations among them, but really believe in His word, you're going to be picture A, and you're going to be the threat. You're going to be the one. His mindset is destroy. It says, they have said, come, let us cut them off Verse 4, Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation in the name of Israel, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. You see? This is their plan. This is how they want to do it. They're just going to try to sever your link to the Heavenly Father, man. You know, and this has been in work since that study first. You look it up. Goes back to like 2004. So he titled this the Funvax, fundamentalist vaccine, right? Now when you go to it and you look it up on Wikipedia, there's a patent for it and everything. So it's the God gene. Hypothesis process proposes that human spirituality is influenced by heredity, and that a specific gene, heredity, get that word, just so you know, it's real. Heredity, also called inheritance or biological inheritance. And who was given this? Let's get that. Psalms 143, I think it is. 147. Let's see, 147. Psalms 147 and 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and commandments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. You see, so the Lord was only dealing with Israel. Let me see if I can find this other precept. You see, here's the inheritance. Deuteronomy 32 and 9, it says, for Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. So this is where what it's hitting at, man. The God gene. It says, the God gene hypothesis proposes that human spirituality, meaning the connection to the Heavenly Father, is influenced by heredity. The word heredity, also called inheritance or biological inheritance, is the passing on of traits from parents to their offsprings, either through asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction. The offspring cells or organism acquired the genetic information of their parents. Now he shows you in that video that one person was read spiritual text, and you know they were using the Bible, and their frontal lobe sparked up, going into that third eye, their pineal gland right in the front of your brain, and the other person's section of his brain that did not believe, he was had in disgust. And it was a huge portion that was had in disgust. It says, you know, this is how we know that this devil is hitting at us, man. Why? It's written. I didn't have any presets put together. I'm just going into this raw. Romans 10 and 2. It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You see, our people got a zeal, man. No matter what, we've been given that inheritance of the Lord. So Jake, man, when it comes to the scriptures, man, they'll have a sense of honor towards it to an extent. Even the 2/3. But their plan is to cut that off, man. It says is influenced by heredity in that a specific gene called vascular monoamine transporter 2, VMAT2, predisposes humans towards spiritual or mystic experiences. The idea has been proposed by geneticist Dan Harmer in the 2004 book called The God Gene: How Faith is Hardwired into Our Genes. And they want to cut that off. Remember, this man wants to exalt himself above all that is called God. Let's get that. Second Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first." And that falling away came in 70 AD in slavery. We completely fell away as a people. We had no kings, no priests. Our name was being beaten out of it. It's that falling away has come. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And he's being revealed right now. Who's the most sinful man in the world? A nation that would get a response to something that they cooked up in a lab of somebody saying they've killed God. I can't feel God. My soul is dead. That if somebody really feared the Lord, as soon as this happened, this whole thing would be over. They would not continue. But this is the son of perdition we're talking about. It says, verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is God. So this is what this devil's going to do. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to sit here and answer, man. Because at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. This is Ezekiel 28:8. It says, they shall bring thee down into the pit. They shall bring thee down to the pit. And this is talking about Esau, Babylon the Great. And thou shalt die with the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou say before him that slayed thee, I am God? And this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to sit here and he's going to say, you know what? I'm God now. What do you think he's going to use that Neuralink, that brain chip, the RFID, the mark of the beast? That's gonna be the new connection to knowledge above. Remember, Elon Musk said, hey, we're gonna be able to download whole books and music, stream it straight to your brain. This is Esau trying to be God. This whole vaccine, his whole plot, his plan, hey, what happens next is going to be a hell of a show, man. So the Lord's telling him, will thou say before him that slayed thee, I am God? So these Edomites, man, they're going to be met with this. But thou shalt be a man and no God in the land of him that slayed thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, say Yahweh power. So at the end of the day, you're going to die the deaths of the uncircumcised. When you go into the dying the deaths of the uncircumcised, you can go back to the accounts when Israel came out of the wilderness, was ready to take the inheritance. The Lord told them, hey, don't spare them at all. those were the uncircumcised, the unbelieving. I wanted to show this last picture so brothers can take this into account. Now, they came up with that Abraham Accord, and this is a coin that they commemorated to it. Now, peep the coin. They have it in the shape of a sword. Now, this is a very vicious sword of battle, man. This type of sword. Let me see if I can grab it, the exact name. So it's called a scimitar. It's called a scimitar sword. A very, very, very deadly sword. And this is what they use to commemorate a pact of peace. Now, if you take a real close look, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. It goes from the average sword, then what? You start going into your circuit boards, your atomic structures, your heart rate monitors, your satellites. What is that right there? Your vaccinations, computer codes, satellites, palm trees. You're going into your Wi-Fi signals, 5G networks, space programs. This is their new sword. And they're getting ready to use it, man. So let me get this last one. I'll end it on that. Daniel's 8:25, 24. It says, "And his power shall be mighty, but not of his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people." And that's what he's going to use all this for. You can see it on the screen. That's what he's going to use this for, to destroy the holy and mighty people, Israel, the ones that actually had a link to the Lord. This is verse 25. "And though through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, witchcraft, wickedness, his wicked agenda, his devices, and he shall magnify himself in his heart." Meaning he's going to think he's real hot stuff when he starts getting an opportunity to let this stuff go. It says, and by peace shall destroy many. And he says, he shall also stand against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So this devil's even going to take it into his mind that he's going to fight against the Lord and the angels. And he's going to be broken, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, Bashim Rakakadash. Give our honors to elders and apostles of great millstone, peace and mercy on full leg. Shalom.